Hello everyone, I am Nathan P. Butler, author of A Saga on Home Video, a fan's guide to U.S. Star Wars home video releases. This is my vlog, the voice of reason or lack thereof, and this is just a quick update for you on what's going on with the Patreon process. I had put up a video a while back asking your opinions on creating a Patreon and what your thoughts were on certain ideas that I already had as to what I was planning to do with it. Well, the ball has been rolling. The process is in progress. So the plan right now is what I'm going to lay out for you here to get some last-minute feedback from you before it goes live and give you a sense of what's going on very quickly here. So the gist of it is that when the Patreon goes live, we're looking at it being right around the time of when the new edition of the Star Wars Timeline Gold gets released for this year. My plan for that is to release that on October 17. That is my 38th birthday. But it is also, because I don't remember exactly when during the year I released the first edition, the Star Wars Timeline 1.0, way back in the day, I used my birthday as the official anniversary of the timeline. I just know that I had started it back in releases to other people, at least, in 1997. So this marks, on October 17th, its official 20th anniversary. That release will come out, hopefully right there on the 17th. And alongside it should be the launch of the Patreon. And right now, the way the Patreon is set up, it's going to have three main tiers when it comes to supporters and rewards. Okay, so for those who go in and pledge $1 a month, okay, you get referred to as the Travelers through the Butlerniverse. Yes, I'm resurrecting the Butlerniverse title that I think was originally Rich Sigfrid's idea way back in the day that I used for the podcast that existed for a while simultaneous with and then after Chrono Radio. So Butlerniverse is back. So we'll have Travelers through the Butlerniverse, and in this case, you get my thanks for your support in a Patreon section in the credits of my monthly project update video. That is something new that will be coming to the YouTube channel here that will also be cross-posted there. It'll just be a monthly update on where things stand with all the different projects that I'm working on. And you'll also get a thanks on a special Patreon supporter thanks page in the next edition of A Saga on Home Video. The release date to that being to be determined at this point. My guess is the next edition will arrive once Episode 9 hits home video, which at this rate is probably going to be sometime around the middle of 2020, give or take. Then you've got a tier for those who pledge $5 or more per month called the Denizens of the Butlerniverse. Not only do you get what that first tier got, you also get access to a series of exclusive audio commentary MP3s that I'm producing exclusively made for Patreon supporters. They will be made available nowhere else. These are going to begin with the Clone Wars in October of 2017 and eventually include audio commentaries not just for the Clone Wars but also for things like the Ewok telemovies, episodes of Rebels, even the Star Wars live-action films eventually. The idea is that they're little MP3 files. You, for instance, for the Clone Wars, would start the episode and pause it once the Clone Wars logo fades off the screen, and then I would count down as you're listening to it, 3, 2, 1, play. You'll hit play at the same time I say it, and you'll be watching it essentially synchronized to when I was watching it as I give a running commentary of the episode. I've already started producing these. My plan is to release at least 2 per month as a guarantee. There could be more, but at least 2 commentaries per month to justify your little $5 donation or a pledge there. And you'll find that actually at this point I'm a little ahead of the game. I've already recorded the commentaries for basically 11 regular episodes plus the Clone Wars film. I am recording them and releasing them in chronological order. So if you want to rewatch the Clone Wars and watch it in chronological order this time, do it with me. Pledge the $5 on Patreon per month, and you'll get access to all those episodes as they're released. The main reason why I'm saying at least 2, maybe 2 or more, is the fact that given that if I did 2 per, we're talking years worth of content just for Clone Wars, I'm probably going to want to mix it up with some things like Rebels and such. So if I stick to about 2 Clone Wars per month and then maybe sprinkle in other things here and there when time permits, then that gives you a little more in some months than that standard baseline level and allows me to diversify and not get completely burned out by doing nothing but the Clone Wars commentaries. But a lot are already done and ready to go, so I'm psyched to get this off the ground. Then right now, the top tier is a $10 a month or more tier called Nobility of the Butlerniverse. This gives you access to all the stuff in the previous 2 tiers, plus a monthly Patreon-only Q&A video. You submit the questions, I answer them about just about anything that's not going to put my career or marriage in jeopardy. And these are separate from the YouTube Q&A type things that I do just when time permits and when there's enough questions through the YouTube channel for anyone based on the questions in the comments. This is a monthly guarantee using questions submitted from Patreons who are of this particular level. And it is exclusive access just for those people to watch those Q&A episodes. No more competing with others to get your questions answered. Become a Patreon, become a noble of the Butlerniverse, part of the nobility of the Butlerniverse, $10 or more as part of your pledge there, you'll get access to that. And then as one of the Patreon goals, I'm not sure of the dollar amount yet per month, what the goal is going to be, but I'm going to set a goal, and if that goal is met, then I'm going to bring back From the Star Wars Library with at least 1 new episode per month. That's not much, but it allows me to get that series going again, and it all comes down to really the amount of support shown through the Patreon at this point. That was actually a suggestion, I believe, made by David Noche, whose original suggestion is what brought that series to life in the first place. So it will possibly, maybe, hopefully, be coming back with new episodes, albeit picking up where it left off and doing about 1 per month. Maybe more than that if I can, but definitely 1 per month. If whatever that goal is gets met right now, I'm thinking the goal is probably going to be $500 per month, because that would mean 100 people doing the $5 tier to get those commentaries. I think that's a somewhat reasonable goal. I mean, we've got about 3,500 people just in terms of subscribers to the YouTube channel, not to mention people in the audience for the podcast, the audience for the Star Wars Timeline Gold, the people who've read A Saga on Home Video and such. So the hope is that combine all that together, and that's not an unreasonable goal, and maybe that series will be returning in HD this time instead of that crappy camera that I used to use on my old laptop when the series was going in the first place. So just want to give you a sense of that, what's going on. I still have to set up a few things on the Patreon page to get it ready for launch, and then the plan is to launch it again alongside the Star Wars Timeline Gold's 20th Anniversary Edition coming up here in the middle of October, right around October 17, 2017. Oh, lots of 17s going on there. With that, I'll wrap up this episode. Thank you very much for your support and your interest in the Patreon, and hopefully this will go nice and smoothly when it launches, and you'll dig, among other things, those commentaries that I'm putting together for you. Thanks, everybody.